Hello, this is Danielle Stewart, your candidate for mayor of Beckley in 2020, and this is Ask Danielle Live. Joining me today right now appears to be the lap cat Gracie. So we'll talk about a few things tonight. First, as far as the format goes, I intend to do my regularly scheduled coronavirus update, have some new information. Some of it just came out, so hopefully it'll be good information for everybody, as well as some helpful numbers and emails and organizations that will be able to help as well. So, going ahead, it's Attack of the Cats. Go on now. All right. So, I'll go ahead and get started. So, first thing is, the governor just came out with a press conference, and we finally have our first confirmed case in West Virginia. There was no location given as to exactly where that case was at, but looking at their statistics hotline right now, it shows one positive case, 122 negative cases, and 14 tests still pending. But as we've talked about before, that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot, because we know there could be there's not a lot of testing still that's going on yet in West Virginia. So more to come as that goes. Another thing, the governor did mandate the closure of all bars, restaurants, and casinos. As far as I know, that's effective immediately. I'm not saying anything else that said a time, but I'm sure, after tonight, since people haven't got the word, but starting tomorrow. Restaurants can do delivery or carry out as long as they've got procedures and people in place to do stuff, to be able to do those things. Looking back at the national level, Congress and the President are considering an individual stimulus package similar to what was done in 2008. Details are still being worked out, but in 2008, basically households got anywhere between $200 and $1,000, with most households getting $600 in order to help individuals get through this then it was the recession. Now it's this pandemic. So everything's still being worked out on the details, based off what they did in 2008. The Internal Revenue Service automatically direct deposited into accounts that they had the direct deposit information for. If you paper filed your taxes, they mailed you a check. And if you didn't file taxes, then they'll set up a site where you can request that payment so that you can get the funds that way. Or at least that's what was done in 2008, assuming they'll probably use that same model this year. Just wanted to remind everybody about the Small Business Administration Coronavirus Disaster Relief Lending Program. Our small businesses are really going to be hurt through all of this. Their traffic is down. I've heard from a couple of small business owners here locally, and they're really scared about how they're going to make their payments. So this loan program, and it is a loan, is something that may be able to help. The interest rate, you can use it to pay fixed debts, payroll, accounts payable, and other bills that can't be paid because of the impacts of the pandemic. The interest rate for the loan is 3.75% for small businesses and 2.75% for nonprofits. So even small nonprofits that are impacted by this can apply for these loans. To get more information, you can contact the Charleston branch office of the Small Business Administration. Their phone number is 304-347-5220. You can also contact the New River Gorge Regional Development Authority. I don't exactly have their contact information in front of me, but we'll try to get that out as well. But they'll be able to help you at least navigate some sources of help for businesses. Schools, again, closed indefinitely. Don't know how long. They are offering the parent pickup grab-and-go breakfast from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and lunch from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And if you cannot go and pick it up, you can call the school, and they will call your individual school, and they will make arrangements to deliver the food to your location. As far as utilities go, continuing, AEP and West Virginia American Water are discontinuing cutoffs. I still have heard nothing from Beckley Water, Beckley Sanitary Board, or Mountaineer Gas. If you need help with your bills, towards the end of this, I'll have some of the contact information of people you could go to for help if you need help with your utility bills. And the reason why is with the cancellations, we have a whole lot of minimum wage, part-time workers in our restaurant and bar industry that just found out they're out of work anywhere from a week to 2 months. So those individuals are going to be particularly hit hard. So if you know one of these people, reach out, ask them for help, or ask for help. Try to share meals, share groceries, share gas, whatever you can do to help ease the burden. Because a lot of people are not going to get a paycheck for quite a bit of time. As far as getting help, 2 resources that you can use to help you get help. The first is the West Virginia 211 hotline. Basically, that connects you with a call center that will provide you information. Pretty much, it's information, so any question that you have, they can at least direct you to the resources. The 211 in the evenings, I think, is still the state-ran line. But if you call during the day, between 9 and 3, the 211 line is actually ran out of our United Way of Southern West Virginia office here in Beckley. And so you'll get much better information locally relevant from that office than you will calling it and it going to the state-level office. The other place to look for help, and this is on the web, is the Raleigh County Family Resource Network. They have a whole list of different resources that are available, including daycare, food help, utility help, all that kind of stuff. And their website is https://RaleighCountyFRN.org. You can just probably type it in the top. Raleigh County FRN, RaleighCountyFRN.org. And some of the information I'm going to provide later on actually comes from that website. In addition to other information, the federal website, coronavirus.gov, is still operational, and now West Virginia has their own coronavirus update, and that is coronavirus.westvirginia.gov, and that's coronavirus.wv.gov. I spell it coronavirus.wv.gov, G-O-V. In addition, they still have their hotline going, and that is 800-877-4304. For more local information, you can contact the Raleigh County Health Department. Their phone number is 304-252-8531. For the hospitals, and remember to call before you go to an emergency room or the doctor if you think you have the symptoms. Call first so they can take protective measures. For our hospital specifically, the Beckley Appalachian Regional Hospital phone number is 304-255-3000. Raleigh General is 304-256-4100. The Beckley VA is 304-255-2121. And I think I saw where they have a special extension 3, but I recommend listening to the options for the VA. So, as always, again, remember to check on your neighbors, especially if they're high risk, elderly, or disabled, or some other compromised in some other way. See if they need help as we go through this, and help them in any way that you can. So now we'll go through real quick one last thing, and again, these are some of the services that are available. Again, I'm particularly worried about our minimum wage part-time workers that just got put out of work. And so these resources are really for lower income individuals that will need help during this time. First is Carpenter's Corner, which you can get a meal at from lunch from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They serve anyone. You just have to walk in. You don't have to have any identification, no papers, nothing to fill out. You just go in. The address for that is 104 Prince Street in Beckley. Next resource is Helping Hands Community Resource Center. They will help anyone in need. They provide emergency basic food and clothing, and they refer people to other agencies, and they may provide some household items. Their hours are Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon. Their phone number is 304-253-3467. And their address is 106 First Avenue, right down below the Chase Bank in downtown. Next is the Calvary Assembly of God. And their address is, eligibility. You need a referral from DHHR in order to use their services. But they do have a food pantry, and they do offer some help with utility termination as funds are available. Their phone number is 304-252-0717. And their address is 319 Sunset Drive in Beckley. And that's off of Harper Road. Then there's Food for Body and Soul, ran by Heart of God Ministries. For eligibility, you do have to fill out an application there, but they provide food distribution every third Saturday. Their phone number is 304-929-3470, and their address is 1710 South Canal Street here in Beckley. We have the Salvation Army, and they also need referral from DHHR. You can go in there and they'll tell you kind of what you need in order to get their assistance. But they offer help with food, utilities, rent, clothing, bus tickets, and emergency assistance as needed. Their hours are 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Their phone number is 304-253-9541. And their address is 312 South Fayette Street, right across from Best Fabric on South Fayette Street. Again, this is the downtown area. Specifically for our elderly individuals, we have the Raleigh County Commission on Aging. They offer multiple services, including home-delivered meals and personal care services. Their phone number is 304-255-1397. They have other services, an exercise place, but I'm assuming all that stuff will close down because of the virus, so contact them. But if you're 60 years or older or 55 years old with a physical disability, give them a call and see what they can do to help you. Next, I've got Catholic Charities, Southern Regional Office. Their office is actually in Princeton, but St. Francis de Sales Catholic Church here does have individuals that work locally, but they have asked you to contact the Princeton office, and then Princeton will refer you to the Beckley office. The phone number for the Princeton office is 304-425-4306, and the email is mattwood@ccwva.org, and I'll spell that out. mattwood@ccwva.org. So if you need any of those services, don't hesitate to reach out to them. If you need information about them or have issues contacting them, please let us know. Maybe we can help with that, as well as maybe other resources could be available. So that's what I've got for the coronavirus update. So now we'll kind of move to the Ask Danielle, and you may feel free to ask Danielle anything, including virus related. I may or may not know the answer, but I will try to find it if I don't. I will say that at this point I've put out 3 position papers on our website. Position paper number 1 was on transparency. Position paper number 2 was on the drug epidemic. And position paper number 3 is healthy activities. Then I have 3 more that should be out within this week. 1 on economic development, 1 on crime and police, and 1 on something I'm calling the Young Professionals Initiative as a way to kind of help our young professionals stay here in Beckley versus going out of town. So those are kind of specific position papers. You know, one of the things you find as a candidate, but also as a voter, when we're talking about other candidates, is they all say, you know, we're going to work on jobs, we're going to work on the economy, we're going to work on drugs, we're going to work on crime. But then they don't actually give you details as far as what they're really going to do. It's just words, and you got to trust that they know what they're doing. One, you can trust me because I do know what I'm doing. But second, I am proving that to you by showing you in these position papers exactly the initiatives and the measures that I want to take on each of these areas to help improve Beckley. As part of these position papers, I give you a cost. Hey, this is how much I think this initiative is going to cost, and this is where the money is going to come to pay for that. So I'm not going to give you a big idea that's out of this world and then say, well, we can't get to it because we can't afford it. No, everything I put forth will have some sort of funding plan for it. Some of it is longer term. You know, I do have a goal of having a community center in each ward, and that's going to be an expensive proposition to get that built. I do think that there's funding through grants and city resources to make that happen. But that's one of the longer term goals that there's not necessarily a complete specific funding plan for. Everything else can come out of the city budget. And, you know, I need to take that down as a note, is to go over the 2020 city budget with everyone so they can kind of see what's going on. So let's see. Oh, yes. If you have any questions on any of the issues, anything going on in Beckley, feel free to direct message us from our Facebook page. You can also email us, and that's Danielle Stewart, 4 Beckley @gmail.com, and we will do everything we can to get answers to your questions. Christina's writing me a note. We won't share names. Oh, yes. Your questions are anonymous. We won't share any names or any contact information. What we'll do is when we do a live, I will respond. Hope the plan will be to respond to your message or email directly. And if it's something that I think other people need to know, I will bring it up as an issue in this forum here. And so right now, I'm open for questions. So if you have any questions, otherwise I'm kind of rambling. Some things that we could talk about, again, are those position papers, economic development plans, crime and police, the Young Professionals Initiative, different things going on. Transparency, my first position paper, as I've talked before, transparency and government communication is really important. And I think we're really getting a lesson right now in the city, state, and national level on how important communication is and the breakdowns that we're finding in our communication areas. So one of the things I had recommended in the transparency paper, I say recommended, one of the initiatives that I plan to take as outlined in the position paper is set up ward outreach offices. So each ward would have their own outreach office based out of the current existing police substations. So there's one on G Street, intersection of G, I think, well, maybe it's Smoot and South Fett Street, one at the Maxwell Hill Community Center, one over, I think it's off of Broadway. So we have 3 existing. They just aren't very well being used. But anyway, what these ward outreach offices would do is we'd have a person in there during weekly business hours. So individuals could come in, you have a complaint, that person would hear your complaint, they would be responsible for relaying that complaint to the city, but also going to get further details. So if you say, hey, there's a pothole on Smoot Avenue, and this individual would go out there, they would report it to Public Works, they would go take pictures of it, they would get your contact information and keep a track of it so they can tell you, hey, Public Works was notified on this day, they plan to come out and repair on this day, or whatever the other issues are. And they should be able to, the goal with them to be able to answer all of your questions. In the city council meetings that I've attended, there's lots of unanswered questions people have. We had one particular about a house on G Street that the residents of G Street have been trying to get torn down for a while because the owner basically has done nothing at all to it. And so it's finally almost on the list, but they have to come in every month and a half to get information on what's going on because no information is being pushed to them. And so the whole ward outreach concept is so that the city has methods to push information out to people. How does that help with this pandemic going on now? These ward outreach offices will be able to provide good information based specifically on that local neighborhood or ward. You know, they will know, hey, who are our elderly people that need care, and they'll be able to relay that information to the main city offices. And again, people will know that they can go there and get up-to-date information on everything that's going on in the city, and that just helps with the spread of information. You know, in the age of email and texts and Twitter and all of that, there's still, the information doesn't get out, and Beckley is particularly bad for information not getting out. And it's really important that we do a better job at communicating. So yeah, that's one position paper. Drug epidemic. Oh.
So how are you going to run your campaign differently since we have a positive coronavirus test?
And as you saw, you say coronavirus test, and I impulsively touched my face, which I'm not supposed to be doing. One of the things I have to work on, and I'm sure other people there as well. It is definitely impacting. Obviously, we've canceled all of our events, and we are from now on, and we're working through how we do that. Plan to do a lot more of these, maybe not as long as the 30 minutes, but little 5 minutes. Want to do online town halls with the wards, as well as one-on-one interviews with small business owners, substance abuse professionals, individuals of that nature, just to go through a conversation of how they see things in Beckley and ideas that they have to make Beckley better. Right now, we are not going door to door, at least not going door to door, knocking on doors, meeting people. We may go door to door and just drop off a little door hanger information so that people know more about me and know where to look up about the campaign. But we're still debating exactly how we do that because we recognize that must be done in the manner that is safest for everybody. So we continue to work on that. There's no word yet about delaying the election. I know several states have already delayed their primary elections. That's always a possibility in West Virginia, depending on how it spreads. If it doesn't and continues to go, the campaign is offering rides to polling areas. All you do is we have an email and a phone, and you call one of those, or call or email us, set up a day and time. We will go pick you up. If it's early voting, we will take you up to the courthouse. When you're done voting, we'll bring you back. If it's the day of the election, we will run you as best as we can as we're running everybody else, but we will take you to your polling site and we will pick you up. Now, virus concerns with that, yes, and we're working on how we exactly mitigate that, but there will be, whatever we do will be safe. There will be, the vehicles will be sanitized, the people will be individuals that are not sick, but they'll still be taking measures like gloves and masks just to make sure. And this service is available to anybody. It doesn't matter whether you're going to vote for me or vote for one of the other candidates. All you do is call us, and we will make sure you get to the polls, and we leave the choice of who to vote for up to you. You won't be pressured to vote for anybody. Another thing that we're going to do, we took a note today, is we're going to get you some information on how to do request and send in an absentee ballot. That way, it comes to you in the mail, you fill it out, and you send it right back. And that will be another way to avoid, especially for people that are really vulnerable and can't go out. Yard signs missing. If your yard sign is missing, it's kind of like one of those games where you're trying to guess what someone's saying. We've put out yard signs for a while. If your yard sign is missing, well, first off, it's now completely legal to put, well, I mean, it wasn't illegal before to put up your signs, but now we are within the 60-day period, so anybody can put up their signs. If you are missing a sign, contact us and we will replace the sign. If you would like a sign, contact us. We will take you a sign. We just got another shipment in. We were out for a little bit, and so we have a few people already on that list that we're going to get signs to shortly. But please, if you would like to have a sign, let us know, and we will take care of that. All right, and so if there are no more questions or anything, that's all that I have for tonight. Again, I expect to see that you'll see a lot more of this as part of the campaigning, with a more focused topic each night, so that you will be able to ask any questions that you have that's a little bit more specific. Because right now we're still kind of, hey, what are you on everything? But I'll be able to give you some better focused topics for us to discuss about. Last two things that I have. One, if you're on Facebook, which I think if you're watching this, you'll be on Facebook, go to the Progress Beckley page and like that page. You'll get updates about my campaign as well as other individuals' campaign. It's kind of an overall group of us that have gotten together to help spread the message about who we are as a campaign and as a community. The last thing that I have is the same thing I end with on the coronavirus updates, which is take care of each other. You know, the restaurant closing is going to impact a lot of people. Our elderly are being significantly impacted. Our individuals with disability are being significantly impacted. If you know one of them, reach out, ask them if they need help, and do whatever you can. Because it's going to take us all working together to get through this. Appreciate everything. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later.